behavior. Now we talk about constant here. What is it? Constant fields. If a field is declared by using keyword, we call that as a constant field. And if using a CONST keyword, now we call that as a constant field. Okay. And what constant fields cannot be modified once after their declaration. So it is mandatory to initialize them at the time of declaration only. Listen here. Constant float pi is error. And what you should write, sir? Constant float pi is equals to 3.14f. Are you clearer or not? I want to declare it now, sir. I will initialize later. Not possible. Declaration time only you should initialize. Are you getting my point? Okay, all of you can observe this now. Constant float pi. See there, error. Error, see. Now I am changing. Is equals to 3.14f. No error. Understood me or not? There is no error over there. You are not seeing any error in that particular place. Okay. So if you just understand about a constant fields must be initialized at declaration time. Okay. Now answer me. I shown you on the screen now. I shown you on the paint here very clearly. Currently, how many copies of Y are present? How many? One copy. How many copies of X are present? 2 copies. 2 instances, 2 copies. Okay. And how many copies of pi will be present? How many? 1 or 2? Why you created 2 instances now? Answer here. You created 2 instances now. Not in the, it is not in the, why you need constructor, I did not understand. If I remove this constructor, X is 1 copy. If I remove the constructor, X is 1 copy and 2 copies. Why you are talking about constructor then? So, but 2 instances are created. Judge yourself. Your answer is right only. 1 copy is the right answer. But judge. Tomorrow interviewer will ask you like that only. Yeah. Blindly you cannot give. You need to give a reason, a solid reason. Modify. So what? Constructor tries to assign. Constructor will initialize non-static only, not static. The behavior of a constant. So listen. 1 copy means static or non-static? Now for constant, you're telling 1 copy. Is it static? You're telling constant will have 1 copy. Now, my question is it static? Yes. Yes. It is static only. Listen. The behavior of a constant field is exactly similar to the behavior of a static. Even you declare constant also, that is static only. Are you clearer or not? So listen, what is that? The behavior of a constant field is similar to the behavior of a static field. That is, it is initialized. It is initialized immediately Once the execution of a class starts and maintains a single copy throughout the life cycle of the class. I read carefully. It is the same thing I said you. It is non-static also, sorry, it is static also in the morning. When the execution starts, immediately static is initialized. Yes or not? Not only static, your constant is also initialized. Not only static, the constant is also initialized. See, when execution started here, y is initialized now. Not only y is also initialized. Pi is also initialized. And now, what you should get in the mind now is, sir, then what is the difference between static and constant? We can modify static, we cannot modify constant. That is the difference. Otherwise, static and constant are same. Clearer or not? So what is the difference? The only difference between static and constant is static can be modified and constant cannot be modified. Apart from that, there is no difference between a static field and a constant field. Check it out here. What I'm trying to tell is constant doesn't require an instance. What is that? Constant doesn't require an instance. Shall I prove it? See, before instance creation, are you able to print the y value or not? Tell me. Same like this, observe it here. You can even print the pi value also before instance creation only. Watch it. Printed. Before instance creation, this happens. See, notice. See the sequence of the code. If you want to comment this also. No instance required for static and constants. Fluency. What is the difference? The difference is tomorrow I'll say y is equals to 300 is valid, but I'll say pi is equals to 3.15 is invalid. See there, error. Showing you error. Okay, let me put this in the comment, otherwise I'll get error. So clearly notice the only difference between static and constant is static can be modified and constant cannot be modified. Other than that, static and constant are same. Static and constant are same. That's why I'm drawing and showing you all. See, these two are not associated with an instance, they are separate. And how many copies will be there? One copy only. But when you come to the instance, multiple copies will be there. Any doubts with constants? Tell me. Now tell me how many you learned? Three things now. First one, non-static, static, constant. What is static? Single copy for the whole class can be modified. Constant. Single copy for the whole class cannot be modified. Non-static. Separate copy for each instance created. Separate copy for each instance created. You created 10 instance, 10 copies are there. Separate copy for each instance created can be modified. Are you clear? And now the fourth one is read only. Can you guess? It is a continuation for our discussion. Same pattern. Understand what I taught you? The same thing, continuation will come now. Tell me what is that? I will again tell you. Follow the sequence. Static. Single copy for the whole class can be modified. Constant. Single copy for the whole class cannot be modified. Non-static. Separate copy for each instance can be modified. Now tell me read only. Separate copy for each instance cannot be modified. Separate copy for each instance cannot be modified. What is that? Watch. Read only field. What is that? Read only field. See, if a field is declared by using read only keyword, we call that as read only field. Okay, like constants, read only also cannot be modified. Like constants, read only also cannot be modified. But the difference is constants cannot be modified after the declaration, and read only cannot be modified after initialization. Are you clearer or not? Okay, that is the difference. Means, look here. I want to declare a read only field in my code now. Read only bool flag. I did not initialize, see? No error. So if I initialize, then also error won't come. Initialize or don't initialize, you don't have an error. Means the declaration time initialization is not mandatory for this now. Understood? Okay, next. Read only fields can be initialized after their declaration under the constructor of class, where you can initialize louder. Constructor of the class, where it can be initialized, constructor you can initialize. Observe it, man. I want to initialize this in the constructor. Generally, we initialize anything under the constructor. We don't initialize with static here. We'll always initialize with parameter. When I put my mouse there, it was showing the code. See how beautiful Visual Studio is designed. When you put your mouse, write this code now. It is giving a hint to you. Come on, press the tab key to generate. Press the tab key to generate the code. See now, it initialized inside a constructor now. Means now, when I'm creating an instance, just like I'm passing a value for X, should I pass a value for flag also or not? Otherwise, error comes here now. So what should I do? Comma, true, comma, false. Remember, it is not the same copy or two instances, two separate copies now. So what happens? Now you'll have two copies of the flag. Under this, we have one flag. Okay, and under this, we have one flag. What is the value? Go here. Okay, now what is the value? False here. Now listen, what is the difference between non-static and read-only? What is the difference between non-static and read-only? Non-static can be modified, read-only cannot be modified. Say, those two are same, these two are same. What is the difference between those two? Modifiable, non-modifiable. What is the difference between these two? Modifiable, non-modifiable. Those two are one copy for whole class. These two are one copy for each class, each instance. Okay, so listen. The behavior of a read-only field will be similar to the behavior of a non-static field. That is initialized only after creating the instance and maintains a separate copy for each instance. Are you clearer or not? What is it? Maintains a separate copy for each instance now. Finally, tell me, what is the difference between non-static and read-only? The only difference between non-static and read-only is can be modified and read-only cannot be modified. Okay, you can test it. Watch it. First, let me print you both the flag values, man. Let me print you both the flag values to prove both don't have the same value. One is true and one is false. Correct? Now I want to modify s1.x is equals to 100 and s2.x is equals to 200. And guys, remember, is it valid or not? Valid. Now I'm trying s1 dot flag is equals to false, s2 dot flag is equals to true. I'm trying to revert the values. Invalid. I should put the code in the comment, otherwise error will come. Read the error. Excepting constructor or what is it? Declaration time only assign. Otherwise, instructor. Remaining any place you can't remodify the value now. Understood or not? Okay, so that's what. So I'm putting this in the comment. So remember, every field has a different behavior. All are not same. Understood? Tomorrow, when you're building an application, depending on your requirement, you need to choose the correct one, what you need now. You need a constant, you need a read only, you need a static. What you need, you require to correctly identify. That is the challenge for us. When you're declaring a declaring a field, we need to analyze ourselves first. Here, I should use a static field, non-static field, constant field, read-only field. That's the first I'm telling you. Understand the behavior of the four fields correctly first. Come on, once again, static. Single copy for the whole class. Single copy for the whole class, which can be modified. Single copy for the whole class, which can be modified. Constant. Single copy for the whole class, which cannot be modified. Non-static. Not single copy. Separate copy for each instance. And can be modified. Read only. Separate copy for each instance cannot be modified. Okay, next week, when I teach you about the ATM case study, in that code, we will declare fields of all these four categories. Are you getting me? We will declare the fields of all the categories. I will make yourself only to what suits there. You understood the behavior now? Then I will explain you the behavior and I'll ask you the question, what suits for me right now? Understood? You want one for whole, static and constant. We have one for each, non-static and read only. Understood me or not? What is it? One for whole, static and constant. One for each, Non-static and read only. Non-static and read only. Afterwards, we need to analyze modifiable or non-modifiable based on that. Okay, fine. Now, are you clear with the four different types of fields? Tell me. If you are clear with the four different types of fields now, then our next discussion should be about static methods versus non-static methods. Are nothing to break our head here. This is a very simple thing. What is that? What is a static method? What is a non-static method? Answer this question first. I did not ask you how to call it. What is a static method? A method declared on initialized. A method declared using a static modifier is a static method. Otherwise, everything is non-static only. First point. By default, every method is non-static only. And to make a method as static, we need to use static modifier on that method. Just like we're doing it every day on. Every day you're doing that on main method now. That's what. So by default, every method is non-static only. Non-static only. And to make a method as a static, we need to use static modifier on that method, just like we are doing it every day on main method. Is it clearer or not? Understood now? Okay. To demonstrate this, just a minute here. You understood the picture correctly? Tell me, when you look at the picture, you should immediately understand the things there. That's why I draw pictures for everything and showing you. Here, it's only one copy. Here, only one copy. And here, multiple copies. Multiple copies. Okay. Here, let me add a new class, man. I will name the new class as test methods. What is that? In this, I want to add one more class also. So look, man, two classes are there. Okay. In the first class, I'm declaring two fields. Int x is equals to 200. Static into y is equals to 100. Clear? Now I want to write two methods here. First method, public void add. And I'm asking you this question. In this, can I directly write console.writeLine x plus y? Possible or not possible? Can I directly write x plus y or not? X plus y. Even though y is static also, I'm able to use it directly now. Okay. Now, I'm writing another method. Public static void sub. In this method, can I directly write x minus y or not? What do you think? Console.writeLine x minus y. See there, it's an error. It is an error. Sir, how to, can't we access it? We can access, guys. We can access it. But only by creating a instance. So first what you're required to do, you're required to create an instance and then write m.x. Okay, so let me clarify. See, I'm trying to tell one and only one point here, guys. One and only one point. What is it? While, clearly notice, while defining methods. If the method is non-static, we can directly consume static and non-static members of the class inside of that method. Whereas if the method is static, we cannot directly consume non-static members. That is, we should create a instance and access them with that instance. Read, guys. uh, you cannot directly consume non-static members in the method. Non-static members in the method. That is, we should create an instance and access them with that instance. We should create an instance and access them with that instance. What is that? That only now I've shown you. See what I'm telling you? If the method is static, come on, see, your method is static only now. Correct? We cannot directly consume non-static members. X is non-static member in the method. That is, we should create an instance and access them with that instance. That only I done. I created an instance and called it. But after telling this, you'll be having a small doubt now. What is the doubt? Sir, it's going to be a big confusion for us. What is that? Sometimes you're directly calling. Sometimes you're prefixing the class name and calling. Sometimes you're prefixing the instance and calling. Sometimes you're using this keyword and calling. And all this sounds confusion for us. Yes or not? Okay, so this confusion will be continuing going forward if I don't give a clarity now. Understood? So let me give you a clarity about this so that you will not have any confusions going forward about it. Clear? Watch. First thing, consuming members of a class from same class. All of you, carefully watch that. What is that? Consuming members of a class from same class. Okay? Or rules. How this will be more apt. Okay, now watch. I have a static member. I want to consume it from a static block. Understood or not? It is a direct access, guys. It is a direct access. It will you watch. Why is static or not? No confidence in your answer. Sub is static or not? See there, directly you access here, see. Y to Y, directly access now. Next. I have a static member. I will consume it from a non-static block. Now also, it is direct access on it. Check if you want. Y is static, right? Add is non-static, right? You directly called it, see. Got it? Next one. I have a non-static member. Want to consume from a non-static block. Now also it is direct access on. Check. X is, add is directly access. So then where we have a confusion? We don't have a confusion anywhere here. You are feeling confusion, that's all. You have only one restriction, that's all. What is that, you know? I have a non-static member. I want to consume it from a static block. Here is only the restriction what we have. What is it? Can be accessed only by the. That's all. Other than this, there is no restriction or no confusion anywhere. Check it out. All four scenarios are before you only. Non-static, right? Static, right? See there. instance. All 4 scenarios are live before you. Sir, what about this keyword? Array, I used a this keyword. When there is a naming collision here, if there is no naming collision, why will I use this keyword? Yesterday, recollect yourself. How did you write? First, when x is equals to a, then they will use this keyword. No, afterwards, you renamed a as x. Then I said, array, now you require to use this keyword because there is a naming concept now. Yes or not? Then why we need to bother about this keyword? If naming concept comes, this will come. Otherwise, this will never come for us. Okay, now? Not over. Just a minute. Learn this also. What is it? You'll have this particular doubt also. Sir, sometimes using prefixing the class name and calling. That confused also you'll have. Sometimes you're prefixing the class name and calling. I'll clarify that also. Rules to consume members of a class from another class. First, I explained about same class. Now I'm explaining you another class. There we have 4 points to learn now. Here we don't have 4 points to learn, only 2. What is that? First one, non-static member. Second one, static member. From where you're consuming is none of the business. Okay? Access by prefixing class instance. Access by prefixing. That's it. That's all. So anytime if I prefixed the class name, what is the meaning, you know? I am calling it from another class. Array, right line. Present in which class? Console class. Are you consuming from same class or another class? That is why you return console.writeLine. That is why you return console.writeLine. Within the class, I don't require anywhere. Where I need? Out of the class only, that is required. So with this, I hope you will not have any confusion going forward now. Understood? What you need to think first is, from where am I calling? I'm calling within the class, I'm calling out of the class. Out of the class. Out of the class, compulsory. Prefix the class name if it is static and prefix the instance if it is non-static. Okay, within the class, 1, 2, 3 are easier. No need to bother about them. You need to remember only one only. What is that? Non-static to static consumption is possible. Understood? That is why day 1, when you called the 4 methods, test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4 from main, you created the instance and called. Because the 4 methods are non-static, main is static. Correct? Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, non-static. Where you call from? Main is static. When you call from static, you created instance and called. Why? It's a non-static member and I'm consuming from static block. How to consume? By creating the instance. Otherwise, it is a direct call for anything. It is a direct call for anything. Did you understand me? Now tell me. The first 4 scenarios I shown you here now. All 4 I shown you here now. Do you want me to show me these 2 also? We added another class also in the file. For that reason only added another class. Now what I want to do now? I want to call the add method and the subtract method now. I want to call the add method and subtract method defined in methods class. Add is static or non-static. So what should I do? Create the instance of the methods class. Methods obj is equals to new methods obj.add. Sub is static or non-static? Sub is static. Methods dot sub. That's all. All 6 points I said you. I shown you all the 6 scenarios here. You can observe it. I was very clear with a simple, clean code. I did not complicate the things also. Just taken 2 fields, 4 methods. Excuse me. Why are you talking, man? I'm seeing from 10 15 minutes, you're whispering with him. Okay. So I shown you all scenarios to you. Watch it. What is it? Static, non-static. Consuming from static block, consuming from Non-static block. Consuming from other class also. In other class, static block or non-static block or no question. In other block, when you're consuming, same rules. Understood? That's why when you're consuming from other class, I did not say static to non-static or non-static. I did not say anything at all. What is it? Non-static member instance. Static member. That's it. Okay. So correctly, what you need to remember is only 3 points. 1, 2, and 3. These 3, what is there, man? Direct only, na? What is there? You don't require to remember them at all now. What you require to focus is only on the last 3. Understood? This is all about static methods. So there is nothing to talk about static methods here. Only 1 point. Read it now clearly. Understood or not? Static, non-static. Static to static, direct. Static to non-static, direct. Non-static to non-static, direct. Non-static to static, instance. That's it. Okay. Rest all are direct access. So did you understood now? When did I prefix the class name? I prefix the class name and call the member means I am trying to consume it from another class, not from the same class. If I try to consume from another class, then I will do that. Otherwise, I don't require to prefix the class name also anytime. Okay. And remember, in the starting of the week, I said about writing methods, creating instances. On that day, I said you, where can we create the instance of a class? Instance of a class can be created in the same class or in another class also. Yes or not? Instance can be created in same class as another class also. When you're creating instance in same class, it should be created under static block only. Understood? And we generally do it in main because main is a, remember this point? Watch it. Today, I created the instance in another static block, not in main method. That's what I want to prove you now. Any static block, you can create the instance. You know, sub is a not main. Why I'm showing you is tomorrow go to interviews. Where do you create an instance within the class? Don't say main method here. If you say main method, that is wrong there. What you should say? Static block. And we need to give a conclusion also. We generally create instances in the static block. But we do in main because main is a static block. Main is static block and also entry point of the program. That is the reason to create the instance in the main. But it is not compulsory. It can be created under any static block now. And watch here, sub is a static block and I created the instance now. Clear? So what I clarified you now? Fields, methods. When you come to fields, we have 4 fields. To static to non-static. Right or wrong? To static to non-static. Why? Constant is also static only. Read only is also non-static only. 2 static are there, 2 constant are there. Coming to methods also, static, constant. Static, non-static. Static, non-static. Finally, you need to understand about only one thing now. What is that? Static constructor, non-static constructor. Can we create instance under non-static block? Same class or another class? Answer that question first, Sachin. You are not following the class at all first. The day one, I have explained you this concept. Program class instance. I taken and created a test program and shown you already now. And on that day only explained, you can do in a static block also. You can do in a non-static block also. Then why you're asking this question now? Practice, man, first. Can we create instance under non-static block? Already shown you. That is possible. And I shown you in the second example only. Test program. Under call methods, you created instance of the methods class. Where call methods is a non-static block. Next. I won't speak anything here. All this is based on the things what I explained you till now only. I want you to answer these questions now. First question, what is a static constructor? What is a non-static constructor? Again, you're like, what is the use of it? What is it means? Why you will tell what is the use of it, man? 2 times I taught you. 2 times I taught you. Again, you're making the same mistakes. Your brain here, yaar. What is a static method? By default, every method is non-static or declared by using static with a static method. That is the answer now you would give. What is a static constructor? A constructor that is declared using a static modifier is a static constructor, or else by default, every constructor is non-static. First tell what is it, afterwards tell what is the use of it. N number of times I'm telling you, repeating the same mistake again and again. Earlier also, what is a type? You started telling collection of members and all the nonsense. What is it? First tell that. Are you clear? Tomorrow someone asks you, who are you? What will you tell? Don't have an answer, eh? You are existing, you know that first? Who are you, man? I am so and so person. First I say, who am I? I come to the class. What should I say? Who am I? How do I introduce myself? I am Mangar Raju. This is how I'm introducing myself. And I teach you so and so subject. This is what I'm telling you. I'm not coming here and I'm not saying you, I have this much of property. Okay. And my height is this much. I don't say that. That is secondary. What you see? This is a lesson for you. Tomorrow you go to interviews. Also remember this point first. What the first question you expect from the interviewer? Tell me about yourself, yeah. Not tell me about your background. Understood? Who are you? Tell me that. So how you start? I am so and so. This is my qualification. Yes or not? This is what you say. You start with what is it? Exactly here also. What is a static constructor? First you should answer that. What is it? If is declared by using static modifier, we call it as a static constructor, or else by default every constructor is non-static only. First point clear? Next, now you tell me, what is the job of a constructor? To initialize fields. Perfect. Very good. Job of a constructor is to initialize the fields. We learned it yesterday only. Correct or not? But today we came to a new point here. Fields are 4 types. What are the 4 types of fields? Static, constant, non-static, read only. And one more thing, constructors are 2 types. What is it? Static and non-static. Now my question is, now answer. What fields are initialized by which constructor? Two types of constructors now, static and non-static. 4 types of fields. Static, constant, read only, non-static. The answer is in the question only. What fields are initialized by which constructor? Static constructor initializes static and constant fields. Non-static constructor initializes non-static and read-only fields. Okay? We are already aware that constructors are meant for initializing fields of a class. So static constructor will initialize static and constant fields, whereas non-static constructor will initialize non-static and read-only fields. Are you guys clear or not? What is that? Construct static constructor initialize static and constant fields, non-static initialize. See, the names are clearly telling you, na, static is constant is also static only now. Read only is non-static or not? Now map them now. Static to static, non-static to non-static. That's it. Are you clear? On me. Just a minute, please. Yeah. Am I clear with this? Two types of constructors, two types of fields, four types na array. Constant is static only, read only is non-static only. So again, don't need to say four types now, two only. Only difference, modifiable, non-modifiable. So two types of constructors. Map it correctly now. Static to static, non-static to non-static. Okay now? Okay. Next. Tell me, constructors are implicitly called or must be explicitly called? Must be explicitly called. Yesterday only I taught you now. Okay. I want to change that statement today. Why yesterday we know only about non-static constructors here. Yesterday we don't know about static constructors. Yes or not? Now I want to modify that statement. I'm sticking to that thing only. What is it? Non-static constructor of a class must be explicitly called. Already we discussed of this in the yesterday. Whereas static constructor of a class is implicitly called. Did you understand me? I'll show you. Watch it. To demonstrate this one, I want to write a class here. I will name this class as constructors.cs. Array, just to understand, I given a similar name. See, first class fields, second class methods, third class constructors. Constructors.cs. Observe, in this, I am planning to write one static constructor, one non-static constructor. Okay, so how do you write? Static constructors. Next, constructors. Are you clearer or not? Okay, so what is this? Console dot write line. Static constructor is called. Here, non-static constructor is called. Are you guys clear? Now, let me set this class as a startup object. And if I try to run this, I'll get an error. Why? Where is a main method? You don't have a main method. Yes or not? See, error. Read the error messages. That's what I'm telling you. You'll understand it. Once, twice, thrice. You'll get an idea now. Okay, I don't have a main method. I don't have a main method. Okay, look, I'm writing static void main. Do you have the main method or not? No, I don't have. Error coming, see? I told said you follow cases, man. Still giving you error. Why? I written main in lowercase. It should be in Pascal case. Showing you, see? M capital. That's what I'm telling you. Notice, observe everything carefully. That's what it should be. Now I have a main method. Present now, will put run. I added a main method here. I did not write anything in that. But still the static constructor executed. So you understood? It is implicitly called. It is implicitly called. Understood my point or not? Okay. Now watch it. I'm writing here console.writeLine main method called. Main method is called. Okay. Now tell me, when I run this code, what will be printed first? Main method call first, static constructor called, or static call first, main method call first. What prints first? I want the sequence now. First one, main. Second, static. Correct now? You're wrong. Sir, execution starts with main method. Now also I'm telling you, execution will start with main method. That's why first I tried to execute without a main method and shown you. Execution will start with main method, correct only. But main method won't execute first. Execution starts with main method, but main method won't execute first. What is that, sir? Who prepares food in your home? Tell me here confidently. Who eats the food in your home first? Is it your mother? Tell me. She will never eat first. Am I right or not? After everyone completes eating, then only she eats the food. Correct? So understand, execution starts with main, but main won't execute first. Static constructor will execute. After executing static constructor, then it comes back and then executes the main method. Are you clear? See, understand the flow correctly. See, listen. Are you able to print y and pi values in the first line? Tell me. You're able to print means they're initialized, correct? I'm not getting a confident answer. You're able to print means they're initialized, correct or not? Array, if they're initialized means static constructor is called then. Who will initialize them? Static constructor. You already discussed about now. Means if they're printing the values, means what is the meaning? Static constructor is already called. Means you understood now? After static constructor execution, main is executing. If the main executes first now, and afterwards static constructor, the y and pi values cannot be printed there now. Got it or not? See the flow. Execution will start with main. Now the control jumps to static. Executes the logic in the static, comes back, then executes the code in the main method. Are you clear? So once again, non-static constructor of a class must be explicitly called, whereas static constructor of a class is implicitly called. You notice, till now, your non-static constructor did not execute. I executed you third time or fourth time. You noticed non-static constructor did not execute. Are you clear? Now can you answer this question? When will a static constructor execute? When the execution starts. Perfect. What is it? Come on. Static constructor of a class executes immediately once the execution of class starts, and moreover, it is the first block of code to execute under the class. I have practically proven you also that one. Understood me? Again, what is it? Static constructor of a class execute immediately once the execution of class starts. Immediately once the execution of class starts. Immediately once execution of class starts. And moreover, the first block of code to execute under a class. Now tell me about non-static. Whereas non-static constructors execute only after creating the instance of class as well as for every new. Did you not understand? I'm telling everything same like various fields only, man. How they are? Because these two are coupled with each other. Behavior of a field is the behavior of the constructor. The field behavior is the constructor behavior. Whatever I said about the field applies to constructor now. Why? This constructor only is initializing that. This constructor is only initializing that particular field now. Are you getting me or not? Okay. Now tell me, till now you noticed, did a non-static constructor execute? No. One more time I'm running and showing you. See, non-static. If I want the non-static constructor to execute, what should I do? Create a instance. Come on, let's create constructors. C1 is equals to new constructors. Executed. Now watch. How many times static constructor executed? Once. Non-static? Once. Now see, I will write constructors C2 is equals to new constructor. Observe. Static one only. Non-static 2. Is it not the same thing you understood with the fields also? Again. Hey. Now tell me, in the life cycle of a class, how many times static constructor executes? Static constructor. One and only one, not only one. What is that? One and only one. Non-static 0 if no instances are created, and n if n instances are created. You saw that practically. Every time that static constructor executed, but every time non-static did not execute. Only after creating an instance only, non-static executed. One instance, one time. Two instance, two times. No instances, 0 times. But always a static code executed to you. Can you describe it? In the life cycle of a class, static constructor executes one and only one time. Whereas non-static constructor executes for 0 times if no instances are created, and n times if n instances are created. Hope you guys are clear. Understood all of you? 0, 0, n, n. That's the behavior. Understood me or not? Finally, answer this. What is that? Default is non-static. By using static, it is static. I don't know what you're asking. Default can be static also. Default can be non-static also. Watch it. Default means parameterless only now. Yes or not? See, static is also default only. Non-static is also default only. Okay. Okay, fine. Now, answer this question. What is it? Can I pass parameters to constructor? You learned it now? Suppose if I pass a parameter int I, from where should I pass this value? while creating instance. How to pass? From here. Error see. From here. Yesterday we saw that. Error coming. Why you did not pass the value? Same way, if I initialize a static constructor, okay, error coming. Why you did not pass a value? Yes or not? Now listen to my question carefully. From where should I pass this value? Static what? Static, you're telling static. Static will send value as static is a keyword. What is that? Static? Static field will send a value. Did you understand my question? What is my question? From where should I send the value? Where do you live? Where do you live, man? Answer this. Why you telling? Why you creating? Ask me a question and answer the where do you live? You're living in a hostel. Yes or not? Where do you live means why you're telling I will sleep. Tell that where do you live? Yeah. You're also asking the same question. From where should I send the value? I asked you. You're telling static field and all the nonsense. From where do you send the value? From where? Again, you're deviating. From where? From main. Main will execute first, static constructor will execute first. Then how will you pass value from main? Static. You see, if you answer correctly, I can explain you correctly. Why I'm asking something, you're answering something. Straightforward answer. From where to pass? Main. And from where you pass the value, right or wrong, tell that first. From where to pass the value. That is the question. Why you're telling static field and all that. From where to pass the value. You given an answer. What is the answer? Sir, from main. I raised the question. What is the question? Array, static constructor executes first, na? Then how can you pass value from main? Are you clear? If you give a correct answer, I can explain you the subject correctly. You are deviating and giving something. Follow me my question carefully. From where should I send the value? From static constructor, you will send to static constructor. Again, you're telling at the time of. From where? Where will you write that code and pass it? Where will you write that code and pass it? Somewhere you need to write code. No? Where will you write that code? Use your common sense. Why I'm asking you that much in detail, What is first executing in a class? What is first executing in a class? Static constructor. 10 times I asked you, from where will you pass? Where will you pass? Use your common sense here. You cannot pass. That is first to run in the class. Got it or not? Who is running first? Then how will you pass? That is only first running. Who can pass value for that now? No one can pass now. Are you getting me? That's what that point I want to make you clear. That's why I'm raising the question and again and again and again. Here. From where will you pass that value? I cannot pass that value. Why? That is the first block of code to run the class now. There is no chance of passing any value. So static constructors cannot be parameterized. What is that? Static constructors cannot be parameterized. Tomorrow you say like this, the next question, what will the entry ask you? Why? Because it is the first block of code to run in the class and there is no chance to pass a value for that. There is no chance to pass a value for that. Remember here, there are 10 people climbing a hill. There are 10 people climbing the hill. Who will support the first one? Who will support the first one climbing the hill? No one can support him. He's the first one. Who will support him? No one can support him now. Who will support the second one? First one can support. But no one will support the first one now. Now also put that in the mind. First block is static. So no chance of passing the value. 2 reasons. 1. It is the first block. Second reason. or you forget that implicitly called explicitly called. When I'm asking where will you pass the value, where will you pass the value, then why you are not thinking now, sir, that is implicitly called now, how will I pass value? That is the question you should ask. That implicitly called or not? Then how are you asking the question from where should I pass the value? When that is implicitly called, where I have a chance now? Again, you have the blank face here. Implicitly called or explicitly called? Then how are you thinking to pass value then? My question is straightforward. When it is implicitly called, you don't have a chance to pass a value now. Yes or not? So there are two reasons why static constructors cannot be parameterized. First reason, they're implicitly called. Second reason, first block of code. So there will not be a chance to pass a value at all. See, when I use int I, read the error. A static constructor must be parameterless. Clearly telling you about that. Are you clear? So what is the next point? Static constructors cannot be parameterized because they are the first block of code to run under the class, and moreover they are implicitly called, whereas non-static constructors can be. I think I don't require to give any explanation for this because yesterday only I provided you all these things. Okay now? Well, so are you clear with the static and non-static constructors now? Now tell me, every class has implicit constructor now? When I don't define an implicit constructor, every class contains an implicit constructor, correct? Tell me, what is that? Every class is not defined with any explicit constructor, then there will be an implicit constructor. Are you clear? Now, can you guess? I'm asking only to guess. That implicit is default, that implicit is static or non-static? I did not teach you, I'm asking you to guess. Static or non-static? Static. Static na? Okay. When did you learn about implicit constructor? Today or yesterday? When did you learn about implicit constructor? Today or yesterday? When did you learn about static constructor? What is your common sense now? Implicit constructors are static. Yesterday I said you about implicit constructor. At the time you don't know static at all. Yes or not? When did you learn about static constructor here? Today. When I ask you implicit constructor, static or non-static, means all of you are telling static, sir. Are they related at all? Did you get the question or not? Yesterday only you learned about implicit constructor. Today you learned about static constructor, and you are telling implicit constructor is static, sir. Wrong. There will be an implicit constructor, and those implicit constructors are defined based on the following points. First point. In every class, except static class, there will be a non-static constructor implicitly defined. Second point. I'll write, if there is no explicit non-static constructor. Okay, let me write the second one also, then I'll explain you. Static constructors are defined implicitly only when the class contains any static fields in it and no explicit static construct. Read the first point carefully. Understood that? Okay. Listen, this is my class here. I am compiling this class now. I'm going to compile the class. Did I define any explicit constructor? Answer. Is the class static? No, no. What is static class? Array. This is static class. Same rule now. If you prefix a static, it is static class. Is it static class? No. Is it having an explicit constructor? No. So not a static class and no explicit constructor. Correct now? Then there will be a implicit non-static constructor. After compilation, this class will contain an not implicit contain a non-static constructor implicitly defined. Non-static constructor implicitly defined. Sir, static constructor won't be present. We need a clarity on that also now. Read carefully. Tell me, will I have a static constructor in this class or no? Tell me, no. Why? I did not find any static field in that class now. I did not find any static field in the class. Okay. Now, those are the 2 points only you should remember. And I'll show you different scenarios and I'm expecting the answer from you. This is my second scenario. Int I is equals to 100. Now tell me, after compilation, what constructor will be present in this? Statica, non-statica, both. I given it 3 options. Constructor is mandatory here. Again, you're telling no constructor. Non-static. Why are you telling no constructor? Every class will contain a non-static constructor now. Again, you're telling no constructor now. What do you have? Non-static. Why? What I'm telling you, every class requires a non-static if not defined explicitly. Okay? Now we don't have a static anywhere, right? Third scenario. Statica, non-statica, both are. Array, brainless fellows, both here. Array, you forget this, what I'm telling you. Every class, there will be a that point you're forgetting again and again. Every class will contain non-static now. But static only conditional. But non-static every time it will be present now. Where non-static won't be present? Static class. Understood? What will I have here? Both constructors will be present. Non-static also will be present. Static also will be present. See, after compilation, this class will contain both static and non-static constructors implicitly defined. Okay. Next. Static class test. Now answer. Again, put the 2 points in the mind and give your answer. What about non-static? Tell me, non-static will be present or not? No, why? Perfect, no, why? Because that is a static class. Correct now? Static constructor will be present or not? Yes or no? No, your. The second point. Body present, mind absent. Do you have a static field? Then why you're talking about static constructor? This class will not contain any constructor at all. After compilation, this class will not contain any constructor that is implicitly defined. No constructor will be present. Why, sir? No static field, na? Then there is no static field. Why you need a static constructor? Static constructors are required only when there is a static field. No static field, no need static constructor. Understood? And what about non-static? What is this class? What is a static class? I did not tell you. I did not tell you. Now I'm concluding it. If a class is defined only with the static members, that is a static class. Static class means everything will be static only there. States are static, methods are static, constructors are static, everything is static only. When everything is static, why do you need a non-static constructor in it? Why, sir? Non-static constructor required for instance creation. Am I correct? When everything is static, why do I need an instance now? Required or not required? Not required now. That is the reason why it will not contain any constructor implicitly defined. Last case here, last scenario. Static class test. Static int I is equals to 100. Now tell me correctly. What we have? Static. Now we have static. After compilation, this class will contain an static constructor implicitly defined. Understand the 5 scenarios carefully. First scenario, non-static class. So immediately non-static constructor should be present then. Second thing you require to check is, are there any static fields? No. Then forget about static. Second, again, non-static class, non-static constructor is mandatory. Why, sir? Otherwise, instance creation not possible. The day before yesterday, I showed you. Understood or not? So, any static field? No. So now also, I don't require a static constructor. Come back. Non-static. So non-static comes automatically now. Now we need to think only about static. See, non-static class, non-static mandatory. What we need to think is only static required or not required. When static required, static field is there. Static required. Otherwise, static is not required now. Got it? Next class. When the class is static, immediately forget about non-static now. Why? Static class contains only static members. Instance creation is not possible. Are you clear? Then there is no need of non-static constructor. Then there is no need of non-static constructor. Okay. So this next check you require to do is any static field? No. Then there is no non-static. Then there is no static. Nothing is there in this. Last one. Once it is static, forget about non-static constructor. Only thing you require to check now is static constructor required or not required. Yes. Why? It has a static field. It has a static field. Clear? Okay. See, I have clearly printed everything for you. What I showed you, the explanation and all the things are clearly shown to you here. What happened? Moving faster. You can watch whatever I taught you along with the pictures I printed you on screen. First, I started with what is a static modifier. Then non-static, static fields. I said you what is non-static, what is static. Every point I said you 0 times, n times. You can read the notes carefully. Okay, next. Next. I have declared everything in the class and see that. Okay, next. Under this, I explained you these points now. Okay, and this is example code. Next. Non-static and static constructors. And these are all the points I said to you. And these are the two things what I explained to you. Non-static constructor will be defined in every class except in a static class. Static constructors will be defined only if the class contains any. All the 5 cases I have given you here. What I shown you. Are you clear? And this is a code. Constructors. One static constructor, one non-static constructor. Are you clear? There is nothing to explain about static class here. You understood static field, static method, static constructors. All put under one class is a static class. So there is nothing I need to explain about static class. You can read them directly. These are introduced in C# 2.0. If a class is explicitly declared by using static modifier, we call it as static class. And this class can contain only static members in it. We cannot create the instance of static class, and moreover, not required. Not required. See now, static class, class 1. Define only static members. You know that from day 1 you are using one static class. Really, sir? Yes. From day 1 you are using one static class. Which class, sir? Console class. Console is a static class here. You want to see that? Right click on the console in the studio. All of you. Right click on the console in the studio. You will find an option called go to definition. Click on that. It will show you. Check it out. Do you know? Remember, it was defined under system namespace. See, and see the class public static class console. Verify everything in this class will be either a constant or a static. Constant is also static only, na? So see, everything will be either a constant or a static only. You'll find it. This is the source code of the console class. Microsoft gives me that for you. If you want to see, this is the code we have written. Today we are writing 1-line code, 2 lines code. If you look at this, you'll be confused because every method will have 30-40 lines of code. But just I'm telling you, this option is available. Under that, okay. If you see like this, it will be confusing. Collapse. Watch from top to bottom. Every member is either static or constant. You did not find anything without static. Notice that? That's a perfect example for a static class. That's a perfect example for a static class. And you see in this class, there is no constructor. Are you getting me or not? There is no a non-static constructor present anywhere. Why? Not required. It is not required at all. Okay, same way, like this, you try to right click on string class, guys. You define a string class. We use the string. Okay. Right click on string class. Right click on this and say go to definition. See, it is showing you, see, class string, system namespace is all about the string class. And all of you is all about the string class basically. Are you clear? Like this, you can see the source code of any predefined class. You can see the source code of any predefined class. Simple process. Right click, go to definition will show you. That also I mentioned in the notes. that you have time to practice. That's why I just completed that particular thing here. You can read the class point there.